How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about AMC, which had some crazy price action inside of the market today. We ended up testing into that $18 level. I really thought we would have gotten to $20, but we ended up getting that news from Jerome Powell. You know what? I'll talk about it further inside of this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll go into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for AMC. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $15.94, being down 0.50%. On the low, it tested $15.65, and then on the high, testing $18.16. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 76.416 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 53.09 million shares. So we did have above average volume on the day, but we still ended up having pressure on the stock due to the market conditions because we did experience a strong run. I'll talk about that further in this video, but let's take a look at the chart. So we're using the daily chart. So when we take a look at the RSI down below, it is at 20.01. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And like I was saying in previous videos, AMC is currently in a bear market and it is showing quite the downtrend. But we did have a strong pop on the day, seeing a high of $18.16. If we had more strength going on inside of the market instead of having a sell-off, I wouldn't be shocked to see AMC going back to that $20 level. And like I said in the previous video, if it was able to reclaim this $20 level, we would have been able to get to the 21-day EMA around 21.32, and then we could see if it would make that move going up to 24. But since we did have that pullback and gave up a lot of those gains going into tomorrow, if we do end up pulling back further, I want to see us continue to hold up the $15 level. I've talked about this before as well. If we continue to hold up 15, then things continue to look good. And if we end up breaking through that, we know the next area where we have some support is right around this 1436 area. So let's see how AMC performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for AMC. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to take a look at the recent filings for January the 26th. So we see here we have Straight Path Wealth Management that purchased 15,200 shares. We also have Schwab that purchased just over 228,000 shares. We have Schwab again that purchased just over 408,000 shares. And then we see Schwab again purchasing just over 26,000 shares. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 52.86%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 10.82 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 6.3 million, updated 9 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.61%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 24th, it was at 51.18, and then for the close of the 25th, which was yesterday, it is at 52.86. So as you can see from the numbers right away, AMC does continue to have short squeeze potential, and this is why we're going to continue to see volatility inside of the stock. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for AMC. So we see here on the inflows at 226, and then on the outflows at 211. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 1.42. On the medium, it was 148. And then on the small, it was 76.98. Keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the outflow side, on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 137. And then on the small, it was 74.37. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, January the 26th, it being that inflow of 1.42 million. And then you could see on January the 24th, it was at 1.51 million, and we had 0 for 25th, which was yesterday. But for the most part, for the past 5 trading days, we've had more inflows than outflows for large scale orders. Analyzing the numbers even further, for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, and what we just covered, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 14.90%. So again, there are a lot of traders that go in and out of AMC. But one thing that was very clear, we did see a lot of interest on the retail side. Do know we did witness a strong sell-off inside of the market, and AMC did give up its gains. But one thing that is very clear, if we see strength in the market, we see strength in AMC stock. So now let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for AMC stock, when we take into consideration the price action, we ended up getting to $18.16 on the day. I really did think that we were going to go to 20. Seeing that momentum inside of the market, I feel like we could have gotten there. But then when we got that strong sell-off, that's when we ended up giving up all of our gains. So going into tomorrow, we want to see AMC at least hold up the $15 level. If it is unable to do that, then it will visit back into the mid to low $14 area, which we saw previously. And when it gets down to this area, we know there's a lot of demand. So if we have a lot of buying pressure and there's volume coming into the stock, we might see a potential move to the upside, and that's just one thing you want to keep in consideration. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest, we see institutions have been loading up on shares. And on top of that, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. And when we took a look at the order flow, we could see there's a lot of demand on the retail side, and we did see demand on the whale/institutional side. So just seeing all of this tells us, if you do your homework and do your due diligence, there's a lot to look forward to if you're going to be inside of this play. But you have to know, whatever money you decide to invest, you cannot be afraid to lose it. You should approach that with all stocks when you are investing or even trading in the stock market. This is very key, because then you won't be making any panic type of decisions. I want to make sure I'm being very clear about that. You hear this stock is going to go to the moon. Oh, you better get in before it's too late. Again, do not fall for the FOMO. You need to go in at a time that is right for you. And the best way to figure that out is to look at the chart, support, resistance, see where the demand is. This is why I do the technicals, and then you can figure out for yourself when will be the right time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how AMC performs going into tomorrow.